Yes, yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to my people, to my guys, look alive, look alive. It's your boy, Angry Judge Galvatron. You are all my witnesses and jury. You may all be seated if you're not seated already. Court is now in session. Got my guys here with me. Got my boy, Jay Stills, the counselor. What's going on, bro? Tell them where they can find yourself at and all of that good stuff and what's going down on the war room.
And y'all know what it is. Your most hated odd fella, you know what I mean? Back for another episode of Boxing Night Court. Yes, indeed. We got 3 new cases. Yes, indeed. I'm gonna be one way or another defending and prosecuting them all tonight. But definitely follow me at the Odd Fella, THAODDFELLA. You know, dig on Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going down the North meets South Cypher. Man, MCs are coming by the, you know what I mean, coming by the day. I got Bunkin coming through. North meets South Cypher is going down. It's gonna be epic. Mark Nash, Big Row, shit is going down. Once again, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when it starts, you know what I mean? Might go off an hour and a half or whatever, but to play it back if you ain't there, it is what it is. Once again, live inside the war room, the war report is going down.
Mac, tell them where they can find you at.
Man, y'all can Google me, find me right here. Stay Ready Boxing on YouTube and Instagram. Man, y'all make sure y'all come through and fuck with your boy. You know, I'll be defending a couple of them tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, not defending, but prosecuting a couple tonight. So y'all make sure y'all pay real close attention because these gonna be some good cases tonight, man. And I got 2 interviews coming up, but we'll talk about it at the end of the show.
Send Red the link, man. I texted it to him. I don't know why.
You should have emailed it to him.
Just did.
I lost the thread of the conversation.
Indeed. But yeah, link just got sent out to Red.
Red, tell them where they can find you at and all of that. I know you just got in.
Yeah, just came in. You know, I'm talking about Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, Instagram, YouTube, we on the road to 1K. So tell a friend to tap in, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button for the player partner one time. And yeah, man, it's going down, man. Salute our fellas, salute Stay Ready, and of course Judge Galvatron.
Yeah, man. Anything else before the first case on the docket?
Nah. Shit.
Okay.
Nah.
All right, salute to everybody in the chat, man. We're gonna be cooking. Just know, salute to everybody that fall in and everybody that's just watching. You know what I'm saying? But first case on the docket.
Indeed. First case on the docket. The LDBC versus the WBO, the World Boxing Organization. Stay ready. I believe you're the prosecutor for this case. I will be defending it. I would like to hear the charges against the WBO, please.
Well, for starters, charges will be going in not honoring contracts, perjury, and I think I want to go with grand larceny.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I also would like to point out that the WBO has been falsifying names. I would like to put that on to the as a charge. They have been running around as an organization that they said their name is the World Boxing Organization, and the actual name of the belt is whatever Bob orders. I just wanted to make sure that we have that falsified name.
Objection.
Okay.
Objection. We're trying to keep it real in the LDBC Supreme Court, and we hear cracking jokes already. Cracking jokes.
Sustained. He's actually right, Beast. I just want you to be more serious with the case, like you always are, champ.
That is the actual name, whatever Bob orders.
But I would like to add falsifying documents to them.
Yeah,
okay. Well, it'll be noted. It'll be noted. Who wants to make the testimony or opening statements?
I'm gonna let the defense go ahead and since I went ahead and told you the charges, I would love for you to defend your.
Of course you would.
You don't even know what I'm doing. You know what? I'll go first. Don't even worry about it. I'll go first. I do. I want to start. I really would like to start with the small fry and Jaime Munguia. And I also want to talk about Zurdo Ramirez. Seeing that both of these fighters were champions. They haven't lost one fight. Now, when the WBO rules, this is in their rules, that if you are a champion and you move weight classes, you automatically become mandatory and get to fight for that title. But in the case of Jaime Munguia and Zurdo Ramirez, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, they've had to fight a few fights and still haven't got that mandatory. In the case of Zurdo Ramirez, he's still waiting because the champion for the WBO 175 title is at 168, fighting for the WBO title in May at 168, and he just had a fight for the WBC title. So are we just going to sit back and wait? And they don't even have Gilberto Ramirez in the top 5 of their ranking system. Per the last time I checked, it could change today. Jaime Munguia is fighting Matches Selecki, but it's not for the WBO title. Who holds that title? Demetrius Andrade. Why isn't he Demetrius Andrade as mandatory at the time? That's one. Then let's move along to grand larceny, which I think they're stealing. I think they're taking enjoyment out of boxing at the welterweight division when you have a fighter in Sean Porter waiting for you to call for the mandatory for him to face Terrence Bud Crawford. That would be a good fight. That would be a great plan, a fan pleasing fight. But they're taking the joy away from the sport, not giving us that fight at the moment. Like I'm not understanding what's going on with that situation. He already fought.
Objection. Do you have any type of evidence to
Overruled. Let him continue. Go ahead.
I just don't understand.
Finish deliberating.
He just fought Kell Brook. Kell Brook wasn't his mandatory, so that was a voluntary. Last time he fought, his mandatory was over a year ago, according to WBO rules. This is in the WBO rules. You have a year. You get a chance within a year after you fight your mandatory. You get a chance to fight a voluntary matchup. Then, when that year time comes, it goes to purse. You're supposed to go start the negotiation. If negotiations isn't reached, then you go into purse bid. And at this point, they didn't come to an agreement in negotiations, so it should go to purse bid. So we should be able to see that fight between Sean Porter and Terrence Bud Crawford. I yield, Your Honor. I yield.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I would like to point out the fact that the plaintiff did not mention that the WBO has the problem with Alexander Usyk is the same issue that he was stating with the first two fighters. He has been he's moved up to heavyweight and he has not had his WBO.
Objection. Your Honor, are you allowing this double team? Are you allowing this double team? This should have been stated before the trial commenced.
He came in the beginning of the trial before we gave our opening testimony.
But he didn't state his intentions. He didn't state his intentions of who he's with.
Counselor, with all due respect, we let him.
Your Honor,
we are not running. Are you accusing me of running?
Exhibit. He has my exhibit, bro. He has my exhibit. This is a conflict of interest.
He has your exhibit.
Well, I was just is
that true? Is that true?
I didn't see the exhibit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the exhibit. I seen that it is an exhibit, but I didn't see
Honor, it. He's perjuring himself. He's perjuring himself right now because
order, counselor. Order, counselor.
The only thing I was saying was Usyk is the same situation Stay Ready did point out. And Junior 5 is ranked number 5, and Deontay Wilder is ranked number 9, and Junior 5 just lost. That's it.
God. Okay.
Indeed.
It. Now
is Honor, may I proceed with my defense?
Oh, he froze.
He froze up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna take that as a yes, indeed. Yeah. And a lot of conjecture, a lot of talk without no real evidence, no real exhibits here on display. You know what I mean? So I'm here to defend the WBO as best as I can, and it's shameful that y'all, the prosecution, who are representing the LDBC, you know what I mean? Representing the LDBC, and what are we, the LDBC, are known for is repping the black fighter. And do you know what? Your WBO has 5, not 4, not 2, but 5 black champions. You know what I mean? 5 black champions currently in the WBO. You know what I mean? They display a true mosaic of the world, the international belt. When you look at their rankings, you see people from boxers from obscure boxing nations. If you're from an obscure nation, you could get in the WBO rankings. But the prosecution wants you to believe that this belt is aligned with Top Rank. Who Bob orders is what they calling it. That's totally fictional. And I would like to see the evidence further that states a legitimate business where it says who Bob's order on the letterhead. I want to see the checks that say who Bob's order on the checks. I want to see some type of evidence, or else we need to remove that from the record, because that's straight fictitious and it's straight slander and lies. And I think I need to appeal and put a charge of slander on y'all prosecution on my beloved organization of the WBO. Once again,
Objection.
once
Overrule,
again,
overrule, prosecuted.
On the slander. The reason I'm objecting to slander is because it can't be slander when we're only bringing up the case because it states it in the WBO rule book.
Don't worry, prosecutor. I didn't count it for the record.
mistakes have been made with certain situations, with not upholding of different standards with regards to former champions moving up in weight and not getting their mandatory shot. That's evident. But what is not evident, but what is evident is that we have a legitimate sanctioning body giving out legitimate belts, legitimate chances to everybody in the world. Every country in the world has a chance to be ranked with the WBO. There's not no franchise belts. Understand? There's not no Reggie belts. Understand? We just got the WBO belt, and sometimes the interim belt when there allows a situation where we need to get some unification done. You know what I mean? And we got a mandatory on the heels of our champ. So, let's throw him the interim belt. But us, the WBO, we don't do that franchise shit over here. We don't do that Reggie shit over here. But y'all all day, yeah, I like what the WBA is doing. I like what the WBA. Oh, the WBC so pretty. I like the green belt. But what about the WBO upholding the whole world with the rankings? Trust me. Now, if I can allow exhibit, Your Honor, may allow exhibit
Proceed.
A.
Proceed.
I'll try to play it. I'll try to play it from my computer here, and hopefully it won't chop up too much, because it is a very heavy file. But this is Exhibit A, and what we'll see in Exhibit A is the importance. You see how the importance of these said belts. You know what I mean? And not these said
back
belts.
in 2001 when you did
Not just these said belts, but the WBO belt. Now, this is Exhibit A. You see usual suspects. You know what I mean? Jay Steele's the odd fellow, myself right there. You know what I mean? There go Cadillac Red, and there go KG, aka K _ of Supreme Beast Boxing Talk. You know what I mean? This is the SBB Talk interviews, though. You know what I mean? This program, I don't think it's aired yet, but I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It has to come out, because this is evidence to free the WBO from these egregious charges. Understand?
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. He
Overrule.
used stolen material.
Overrule. Order.
It's stolen material. This ain't even released to the public.
It's evidence.
Oh.
It's evidence. Proceed.
It's playing.
you became the WBO champion, junior lightweight champion. Kind of for those of us that ain't boxers and ain't touched that championship belt, what is it like during that moment? Like when you're a championship boxer, what comes with that?
not just the WBO, the USPA, the NABF. This shit right here.
Okay. On deck.
It
That's
means a
what's
whole
up.
lot,
That's
and
what's up.
it carry a lot of power with it because it helps open up a lot of doors for you.
Okay. Now, when you win the championship, does that how does the game change as far as like training revenue or as far as everything else that comes with it after you win? Talk to me a little bit about that, because now you're being hunted.
First thing, when you win it, well, back then you wasn't there. There wasn't hunting season. There was just you become a world champion. We all want to fight each other just to make the money with the promoter. But now, this new era of boxing, fighters are hunting each other, but there's a lot of politics in it also because the promoter and the manager want to make sure that they try to monopolize the sport where you fight this guy because it's an easy fight. You don't want to fight this guy because it's a fight. You be champion if there's a possibility that you lose.
See the belt there?
Okay. KG, you got something for him?
So with that pretty being said, guys, that risk of losing.
Let
On top of that $2 billion, you got sponsors. You make another $6 billion.
Okay.
The ring fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So in a nutshell, that championship brings a lot of outside the ring money that normally wouldn't be there for the regular fight. I mean, the championship fight inside the ring is going to bring more value to the fight, but the outside the ring, all the extra sponsors and everything that comes with it is where it comes into play.
Speaking of which, that time back in there we have it. Him champion himself, and they have the interview where him admitting
I fella breaking up.
Oh, I thought that was me.
Nah. Yeah, that's our fella breaking up. Yeah, you might have to go back out and come in. You know what I'm saying? His shit did that because he had a bad case, and that was bullshit. And this shit,
He was cooking though. He was cooking.
He was not cooking, Your Honor. He was not cooking. This is bullshit. You do not run a kangaroo court, and this shit is kangaroo.
Right.
You know
It's not. Oh hell no! Order, damn it, Cadillac! Don't accuse me of running the kangaroo court, sir. Don't accuse me of running the kangaroo court. We're fair young men of the brightest sort.
He's over there with a pouch in it by his stomach, Your Honor. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
While we waiting on our fella, I guess 503. Salute, bro. Tell the people where they can find you at real quick and what you got going on.
Yeah, man. Follow me right here on YouTube, 503 Line. Smoke City Mobcats on the ground, Facebook, and 503 Line on Twitter, man. You know what I'm saying? What we cooking on, Judge? Who on the docket?
Okay. Steele's got a
mic check.
Yeah, I hear you. You good.
Mic check 1 2. What is this? What's going on? And,
yeah, now you back out.
Yeah, I'm real choppy, right?
Yeah, you chopped and screwed.
Yeah, I think you got that Teddy Riley in it.
Nah, I know what kind of internet he got, but I don't want to say the name because they be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I say what kind of internet he got. Act might give him the second round.
Mm.
He got that. He got that Motel 6 internet.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. He he on the road with the shit. I mean,
Oh damn, he's still on the road.
not on the
Nah.
road. Now he not driving. But he not home. You know what I'm saying? He OT with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that hotel drink. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Steels, you with us?
Yeah, you hear? You hear? Side?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mic check 1 2. Where did I end off? Did y'all get that last piece of the video where Cadillac Red incriminated himself and pretty much admitted to that these championship belts bring opportunities outside of the ring.
But Cadillac Red is not on the docket. The WBO is on the docket, and I'm prosecuting.
Yeah.
So what is you talking about?
That's true, counselor.
Yeah, and what is you talking about? But the fact remains is that I showed you evidence of a champion that a former champion that still has his belt and covets his belt. He brought it to the interview to show us, yeah, I got my WBO belt, and we want to take these WBO belts away. I further showed you. You had your time. I further showed you during that video the importance of a championship.
Order.
Further showed you the importance of a championship belt and how it gives you other opportunities outside of the ring. He clearly stated that. DeMarcus Chop Corley, the same Chop that fought Floyd Mayweather Jr., the same Chop that defended that WBO belt at least 4 times.
He ain't been a champion
and you wanna discredit that video evidence. You want to discredit the fact that the WBO has 5 current black champions, huh? Then go right ahead.
How many black champions has the WBO
understand. Last week, your judge made the lineal belt, which is all about boxing publications, guilty. This week, let's see how the judge rules against a sanctioning body that clearly is on the come up. Is a young green sanctioning body. We should have leniency to their mistakes, not so much with the WBC and WBA, who's been there for ages, but a sanctioning body that shows love to obscure countries in the world. Yeah, you can get ranked. We watching everybody. Just not the big nations where we can get major buco sanctioning fees. Nah, we watching if you from Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, it don't matter what kind of stand, we gonna watch it, and you might get ranked if you're good enough. And that's how the WBO rolls. That's it, Your Honor.
Does anybody have anything else? Any witnesses or anybody that wants to add anything now?
Your Honor, the defendant said that the IBF has 5 black champions, which is a lot, but they have 10 champions that's fighting for top rank. Whatever Bob orders. That's what they look like. Of course, it won't be.
Objection. You're here slandering and saying it's a lie. Then prove that lie wrong. And give me the number.
Sustain, Big Preem. Give him a number. Give him a number if you can. If you can.
On top rank?
Yeah.
I say like 7 to 10.
At least he gave you a number.
Is Stephen Fulton on top rank?
I said 7 to 10.
Is Demetrius Andrade, Boo Boo Andrade on Top Rank? Is AJ, Anthony Olufami, Joshua on Top Rank, my nigga?
Castanos too.
Yeah. No. I agree with that. That's why I said about 7 to 10. You know what I'm saying? But I could name some other ones that is. You know what I'm saying? We can start with Bud.
Yana, I rest my case.
We can start with Bud if you want to go there. We can go who's at 35? Oh, that's Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? Who's at 40? Oh, that's Jose Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, and they're making unifications, aren't they? What are we doing?
Well, let me
hold on. I said,
what are we doing?
Yeah, go ahead, stay ready.
Take the case back over.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Take the case back over.
Are y'all?
Everything you just brought up didn't explain why Jaime Munguia, Usyk, and Zerto Ramirez hasn't got that shot yet.
Simple. Because Jaime Munguia, and as we get to the next case, Jaime Munguia declined the fight because we put his ass number 1 in the WBO rank. Middleweight rankings. He's number 1 in the middleweight rankings, and he declined the fight. That's why Boo Boo Andrade is now fighting Liam Williams. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Go pull up what? You go pull up and show me the exhibit. I don't need to pull up nothing. You need to pull up the exhibit. This is the court of law right here, bro.
That's correct.
You're defending him. He never got ordered to fight. He didn't have nothing to decline.
As we know, these dudes have to sign on the dotted line and come with that document if they want to be the mandatory. Just the same way Sean Porter hasn't been officially made the mandatory for Terrence Bud Crawford because he needs to go ahead with that document and send it in and say, yeah, I'm about that life. Jaime Munguia did not do that. He didn't send that document in. He didn't send that paperwork in. Therefore, he declined to make the fight against the champion, Boo Boo Andrade. What do you want? Show me the evidence if I'm saying otherwise.
Okay, that's great. He said that. So can we strike from the? Hold on, y'all.
Objection. Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna have bickering amongst prosecution?
No, because
why they tag teaming?
I got something to say.
Overrule. Cadillac. Do you have something to say? And then Mac.
I was gonna say it could be stricken from the record if I could prove otherwise, like how he just said. Is that cool with you, Your Honor?
If you could prove otherwise, yeah. I think that's fair.
We're gonna take all that from the record. Liam Williams fought Alantez Slyers of Fox for the WBO mandatory. Alantez Fox lost. You know, Alantez is the homie. You know what I'm saying?
I remember. I remember him.
He went over there and lost. Liam Williams is the mandatory. Jaime Munguia didn't get his spot for the mandatory yet because Liam Williams was up first. You know what I'm saying? He's been proven otherwise. Go ahead and take that up out of there. Thank you. Go ahead, stay ready. My fault. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had
go ahead. Clean up your boy's mess because he just gave one over to the WBO team, which proves that Liam Williams was the mandatory.
That's why I said it need to be taken for the record, Your Honor. That's why I asked to make sure that it is taken for the record. That's taken for the
record. When we read the judgment, we'll figure out if it's true or not.
Otherwise, like how I just said, that's the only reason I said something, Your Honor. Because he said, prove otherwise, I proved them otherwise. That's why I think it should be taken from the record. So I let it ride if he wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So over there with his chest out. About to bust the buttons in his button up.
The mandatory.
Any close? Okay. Go ahead.
Section 6, page 8 WBO regulations of the WBO championship contest. The mandatory may be selected and determined by the World Championship Committee according to the current list of best classified boxers promulgated by the WBO Classification Committee. The word championship committee shall for good cause designation the date of which the determination of the mandatory challenge shall be determined. For the purpose of designating the mandatory challenger, the current list of classifications is that which corresponds to the month for which the designee of the mandatory challenger is to be made, that the world champion is obligated to defend his title against a mandatory challenger, or other dates in which the World Championship Committee may determine in just. When a champion must make a mandatory defense, the mandatory challenger shall be at the highest classification available boxer who, in the judgment of the World Championship Committee, best satisfy the following criteria: has the record acceptable to the World Championship Committee, and who, because of accomplishments and achievement, is recognized by the World Championship Committee as a class boxer, and complies with WBO and Associates of Boxing Commission criteria for the rating of the professional boxer. And in the event the champion has a contract with the major television network, HBO, Showtime, ZDF, Sky, and other similar broadcasting companies, is an acceptable challenger to the championship television network. So speaking of your mandatory, as in Sean Porter, who is the mandatory, he has an acceptable record and accomplishments. And it's that time for him to, it's been a year. Isn't that time for them to call for the mandatory fight? That's all I'm saying. That's just one. I can keep going. I can keep going. Y'all want, because I got the rules pulled up, the whole booklet.
Any closing arguments?
The WBO don't follow their own rules.
None of the sanctioning bodies do. With all due respect, prosecute.
So this should be open and shut guilty then.
But there was a lot of great points on both sides. I gotta admit.
It's always a good case.
All right, man. We ready to render judgment, man. The people versus the WBO. We find the WBO not guilty.
What?
I think Stills had good points. I think Stills had real good points.
I knew he was gonna do it.
He did.
My nigga just read my boy. I'm sorry, my boy just read you a whole paragraph, and you just
the judge.
He had incriminating evidence on one of the witnesses.
But I didn't call for a witness. Well, I did, but
you did.
Hold on, okay, but that's incriminating evidence on the witness. But that still
had to do with the case.
But the case itself,
my only issue.
It was nothing wrong with my evidence. I'm giving you 100% evidence. I pulled out the whole book. Their rules that they messed over.
At the same time, I did hear about Jaime Munguia ducking though, and that was a strong argument. You got to underline that.
But you just
this is no
words. He didn't pull up. He didn't pull up.
Why am I getting the Liam Williams fight and not the Jaime Munguia fight?
Nah. Look, this is what it is. You said, I said, hold on. Look, I asked you. We were talking about the other organizations, and you said, yo, they all don't follow their own rules. They all guilty. You know what I'm saying? All the other ones have been guilty, right? So if
not all of the other ones, I don't think the IBF was guilty.
But they were guilty though.
They were.
Yes.
They
So
were.
if you having everybody guilty for that shit, you can't have what that don't even. That's not equal. That's not even fair.
Hold on.
Now when Desert Cruz, when Desert Cruz fought Jimenez, did the WBO let her keep her belt first? Right?
we didn't
Am I right?
we didn't bring that up in court, so you can't.
I'm going to bring it up in my court. It's a point that I'm trying to make. I'm illustrating the purpose. I'm sorry. So the WBO, as far as I'm concerned, it got a brain out of all the sanctioning bodies. All of them they rarely use their brains, but I feel like the WBO, I remember that when they did that with the Jimenez and the Desert Cruz, the Desert fight or whatever. They let homegirl, and I gotta be honest with you. That's one of the things that I thought about also. You know what I mean? And plus the thing that Steels was bringing up, I'm not being unfair about it. He just brought up good points. You know what I mean? Y'all both brought up good points. And you even read it a great part.
But here's the thing: we didn't bring them on trial for any of those things. We brought them on trial for specific things they have in their rules that we sat here and said.
And you're right. We already rendered verdict, so we're not even really. This is just the aftermath. We really actually not even really. This ain't really even for the case. And I did bring it up. It's not like I brought it up during the trial. Then you could have really said something. But I didn't even bring it up during the trial. We already rendered the verdict. And I'm just telling you, like, in my mind, I never brought that up or used that, against you to sway the jury in the chat or anything like that, brother. Come on, man. We're not running the kangaroo court, brother. You know what I mean? Let's go to the next case. Let's vibe out. What's the next case on the docket?
Next case on the docket, case number 2, the LDBC versus Danny Garcia. Once again, I'll be defending Danny Garcia. Prosecution. Please state yourself.
I'm prosecuting.
Do you have a tandem or possibly a trio or a quartet for me for this Danny Garcia case?
Well, I think Stay Ready defending them with you. So actually, you the one with the doubles, sir.
I'm with
you. Now, the charges today is going to be perpetrating as an elite welterweight boxer.
Impersonate. Oh, man, you get 8 years for that. A federal boxer. Impersonating a federal boxer.
No, an elite. You see?
That's it.
That's 8 years. You talk about that's it.
I don't need no other charges.
That's 8 years.
Yeah, this elite. Listen to the charges, Your Honor. Impersonating an elite welterweight boxer.
Okay. That's the theme of your.
Gotta make sure we know what the charge is, because there ain't even a whole bunch of charges. This is just one charge. You're saying.
Okay.
Go ahead. It's on me. I'm gonna prosecute first. I'm prosecuting. You want me to go first, Alfella?
It is what it is. I mean, I can. Once again, the charges are the impersonation of an elite welterweight. Okay.
Elite federal welterweight. We want the 8 years in case, you know what I mean? In case, things.
I'll start it off. I wasn't expecting this type of case. I was expecting more of the case of being with regards to his aspirations for Jamel Charlo at 154. But in this case here, him impersonating a elite welterweight, really? Was he not a WBC champion at one time? Has he not fought Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, two other elite welterweights to fairly competitive fights? Maybe not so much with Errol Spence, but definitely Keith Thurman, definitely Sean Porter, competitive fights. Those are elite welterweights. Elite welterweights. Danny Garcia is box office. Danny Garcia is one of the welterweights that can go back to Philly and sell out the Liacouras Center. Can go back to Philly and sell out a smaller hockey arena to that nature. When a lot of these welterweights you want to call elite, like Ugas, don't got no fan base. Sean Porter, he ain't got no real fan base. Your boy Errol Spence makes fun of him, roast him all the time. You can't sell out a family cookout. That's what he say about Porter. You don't say that about Danny Garcia, elite welterweight that's getting that bag, that's showing that he continues to be a problem in the division. He was able to dispatch of these lower tier, mid tier oppositions, such as the Ivan Red Catches, such as the Adrian Granados, while they looked competitive against other welterweight. Danny Garcia obliterated them. Brandon Rios was once thought, that might be a nice little fight. Nah, that left hook took Brandon Rios right back to retirement. Don't sleep on Danny Garcia by saying that he's some type of gatekeeper or saying that he's never been elite. He's never been an elite welterweight. That's absolute blasphemy. That's absolute blasphemy. And now the fact that the welterweight division is stacked right now. You know what I mean? Tables have been made, and he don't have a seat at the table right now. So he has aspirations at 154. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? We've seen other good to great welterweights move up successfully. We've seen other good to great middleweights move up successfully. We've seen guys like Fernando Vargas. We've seen guys like Ike Corte. We've recently seen guys like Kell Brook. You know, matter of fact, Kell Brook is undefeated at 154. He's undefeated at 154, but Danny Garcia can't move up to 154. You know what I mean? He can't move up to 154. He's because I think he can because he's an elite welterweight. That's why. And elite welterweights can move up when they overgrow the division. They can move up successfully and do some work in the Northern Division. This is why Danny Garcia is contemplating moving up, because he's definitely a elite welterweight. And I'll close off my opening statements like that, Your Honor.
Okay. Prosecution.
Okay, so Danny Garcia, right? He's definitely not an elite heavyweight. I mean, welterweight. That's why I only wanted this one charge, Your Honor, because I knew it would stick, especially with it being federal. Okay, so when Danny's at 140, he was that guy. That's where all of his cachet was built. His name and no look left hook was definitely built at 140. And upon moving up, that's when all issues started. First thing first, him becoming the champion. That belt that he fought for, Your Honor, he didn't be the champ for it. He didn't go into a champion's house and take it from him. It was vacant. It was a, you and that guy fight. And you, Your Honor, being a part of the sport know that taking it from a champion is a hell of a lot different than fighting for it vacant. But with the cachet that he had at 140, this is why the charges are what they are. People allowed it to slide. Now he fights a real champion to unify. Big money. Cachet out the roof. He loses the fight against El DeBarge, Your Honor.
Objection. El DeBarge is a real name.
Overruled. Overruled.
So-called El DeBarge was a unified champion, and he can't speak of his real government name, his real pugilistic name.
He has no relevant in the case, counselor. Continue, prosecutor.
Okay. So after losing to El DeBarge, somehow, some way, the boxing gods shine upon this kid. He gets a chance at another championship fight. And you could tell a broken clock is right twice. It's not to beat another champion. It's for another vacant shot. What does he do? He gets in there and lays an egg to the welterweight gatekeeper, which shows to me that he doesn't get, not only is he not allowed in the gate, he doesn't have the keys to hold the gate for someone that's trying to get in.
Objection. Who is this welterweight gatekeeper that you speak of? You need to be more specific before you're swaying the jury in the court.
Sustain. Preem. Yeah, please.
Shoe Porter. That's better for you. You know who
Thank
that
you.
is? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let the record state. Let the record state that he said elite welterweight Sean Porter.
I said gatekeeper. Gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? 503 was typing all the words up. He heard me say gatekeeper, not elite.
Is a gatekeeper damn near undisputed, #1 ranked across the board in sanctioned bodies? That's a gatekeeper.
That sounds like you have all the keys, like you're the janitor gatekeeper. You can get in any part of the gate to the elite place. You can get it through the sides. You can get it through the back. You can get it through the front. You have all the keys. You jingle when you walk. But people don't pay attention to the jingle because your shoes. That's what it sounds like. That's better for you? Well, all right. That's why he's a gatekeeper. And he lost to the gatekeeper, showing even more so that he's not elite. You don't get in the club. You can't get in the club with tennis shoes on, with a white t-shirt, with a hat. Go parking lot pimp. Upon parking lot pimping, he runs into a real champ. I don't know how the gods shine on him again. He gets a third shot at a title against the Truth. You know who the Truth is? Do I have to say his name? Errol the Truth Spence.
If you could, just to be politically correct for the court, for the jury in the court.
Please, because there's a lot of listeners that are new to the boxing structures and names.
After the knockout, that wasn't a no-look left hook, was a right hand to Granados. After that, he got another championship shot. And well, of course, after Red Cash as well, he got another championship shot against Errol the True Spence. And in that fight, he got whipped like his name was Mikey Garcia, showing even more so that you can't take a belt from a champion. The belt that you got in your vacant shot was lucky because your second vacant shot, you couldn't take it from him. So not only are you not elite, instead of getting yourself together to be elite, because right now you are the second best welterweight in your city. Jerron Boots Ennis is #1. Thank you for not objecting to that.
Objection for waiting for me to object.
Overruled, counselor.
Got one.
Is that all? Is that all you got, prosecutor?
Nah, hold on. He's not even the best in his city at welterweight. So instead of trying to get into the gym and work hard with his father and get it right, no. All I see is silly Instagram posts, silly TikTok videos, silly clout chasing, talking about you want to fight damn near undisputed at 154.
Objection. That's not clout.
When you can't even beat a champion at welterweight, you are not elite. You cannot get in the club with those tennis shoes on. You, my friend, must go sit in the parking lot. That's all I have, y'all.
Anybody else would like to deliberate or give their 2 cents or add or any closing arguments?
The defense will rebuttal. First off, how the prosecution can sit here and discredit obtaining a championship belt by vacancy when we've seen so-called or current champions such as Devin Haney, Jamal Charlo receive championship belts for promotion.
I never discredited
for promotion. You're discrediting it. You're saying that he wasn't elite. You clearly said he wasn't elite because he won from vacancy. He clearly stated that. That's on the record.
You never beat a champion. Is what I said.
That's on the record. And then he furthermore, he stated that my client is clout chasing by saying he wants to move up and fight the 154 undisputed champion, falsely stating that because Jamel Charlo was not undisputed. And understand, last week we just showed the pattern. Judge Galvatron found the PBC guilty. You know what the main reason why he found the PBC guilty is because they haven't staged the undisputed. They haven't staged the undisputed. So why am I to think that undisputed is going to happen next? Why can't my client, Danny Garcia, be next? Isn't he the most popular? If he was to move up to 154, wouldn't he be the most popular 154 fighter? Other that's names not Charlo. That's names not Charlo.
Objection, Your Honor.
Who sells out arena? Who sells out arena like Danny Garcia? Who sells out arena like Danny Swift Garcia? Huh?
One at a time.
Is it Erickson Lubin?
Oh no, you talking
Is Tony Harrison? Is Tony Harrison selling out the Joe Louis Arena or Little Caesars Arena? Nah, bruh. Nah. It is the newly minted WBO champion Castano selling out arenas? Nah, bro. That ain't happening. But if Danny Garcia strut on up, go on north to 154, oh, you got a pay-per-view right there. You got a pay-per-view right there because Danny Garcia, he brings that, he don't bring the clout. He brings the people that fill the seats. He bring the people that view these telecasts and view these events. Understand? Ain't nobody know about Castano. That ain't next. My boy Swift Garcia, he should be next because he sees opportunity at 154. Whether he can win or not is irrelevant. This is entertainment and prize fighting. And there's some prizes up at 154 for my fighter, Danny Garcia. Once again, he has the ability to do this. He has the ability to do this because he's such an experienced and elite welterweight. Elite welterweights have the ability to move north and be somewhat successful and competitive with guys that are bigger than them. not clout. That's my rebuttal.
Your Honor, his last fight was pre COVID, and he fought in Delaware, and they didn't sell it out, and all the tickets that was sold was because of Gary Russell Jr. I don't know what planet the defense is on. I don't know where he had talking about selling out arenas. He lost me with that one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where. Yeah, that was a real good, nice try, buddy. But yeah, and on top of that, him moving up, he can't be the champion at welterweight. Beat a champion. Selling tickets does not
Objection, Your Honor. He's gonna sit here and say he don't sell out arenas when he's a hometown player at the Brooklyn Barclays Center. Might as well be the other franchise with the Nets. Get out of here with that shit.
Overruled, counsel. Let him continue. Are you done? Are you done, prosecutor?
I'm done. He said there should be another team with the Nets because of him. Okay.
Are you done?
Now I believe, prosecutor, before we get ready to render judgment, did you have a key witness that you wanted to bring to the stand?
Yes, I would like to bring my key witness to the stand.
Oh, I'm sorry, counselor. You had a witness you wanted to bring to the stand.
The defense has we have a key witness that we would like to present to the stand. Stay Ready Boxing TV. I would like to bring him to the stand to give his testimony on my client Danny Garcia, if you please.
Yes.
Do you swear to tell the truth and all the truth, so help you God?
I stay ready.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask a question.
Hey, go ahead. Stay ready. You can speak your piece.
I'm giving you your chance to testify on behalf of on our client. That's what I'm giving you the chance to do.
This is what I want to speak on. I think Danny should be able to move up to 154, fight whoever he'd like to. I'm not saying that he's just going to be up there and it's going to be the best thing at 154, but honestly, we don't know. Because we watched Jaime Munguia go up to 154 and just ramshack it. We seen Saddam Ali win a championship at 154. We talking Saddam Ali. There's nobody in this room that can tell me Saddam Ali should have been a champion at 154, and you can't tell me that Danny Garcia is not better than Saddam Ali, because if you did, you'd be lying to yourself. Number one, Danny Garcia can go up there and become a champion because he's better than fighters like Patrick Teixeira, Nathaniel Gallimore. He can fight fighters like Jamonte Clark, Terrell Boucher. It's plenty of fighters that'll get him up there and he get the work to get himself acclimated to the division. Now, once he go in there and fight somebody like a Charlo, do I think he'll win? Me personally, no. But that's my bias as well. But we don't know what he'll do until he put that weight on, and let's see how his strength can handle once he get up to that division. Now, would he be considered elite once he go up to 154? I'm not. No, he's not. But once he get acclimated to the division, will he be back elite again? I promise you he will, because he brings that fan base. He brings that stardom. He's still going to be a star at that division. They're not going to send him and throw him to the wolves. They're going to let him get acclimated to the division, and he's going to be 100% ready when he do get a shot at one of those tough guys.
Beautiful. Now stay ready.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. For the jurors and for the listeners, you know what I mean, of all walks of life. Could you describe, you know what I mean, for us what a true definition of a gatekeeper is?
A true definition of a gatekeeper is somebody who's had chance after chance after chance and becoming a champion, but they just can't get over that threshold, or they were once a champion, but they're at that they're past their time of even becoming a threat, but they're still a tough enough fighter to give any of these up and coming fighters or these future contenders a great fight to see if they're ready for their championship, they're ready to go to their next step. They're the ones holding the key to get those championship fights. They're the ones.
Okay,
who,
so with that being said, a gatekeeper that has failed numerous times over and over again to get over that hump, what you pretty much said.
And past their time. He said, and past their time.
Excuse me. Do not interrupt. Please hold. Your Honor, you might have to hold him for contempt because he's ruining my cross-examination. But with that being said, stay ready. Can a gatekeeper once be elite?
Yes.
He can. A gatekeeper can once be elite.
Yes.
With the case of Danny Garcia, it's arguable. It could be arguments that yes, he could be a gatekeeper, but right now it's not arguable that a gatekeeper can come from elite pedigree, can come from an elite past. And that's what I'm trying to establish here, that Danny Garcia, my client, he may not be elite right now, but he was elite.
Correct.
Former champion.
We'll say this, at 140, he was
at two weight classes, exactly.
When he moved up to 140, when he was at 140, it wasn't nobody at 140 that there to challenge him of his throne, and he stayed there for a good minute. When he moved up to 147, he was a WBC champion, and he held that championship for a good minute. And the only person that challenged him, that beat him at that time, was Keith Thurman. Until that, but that was when he was a champion. It was Keith Thurman. He was elite at 140 and 147. I can't take anything away from what he accomplished.
Okay,
thank you. Stay ready. Excuse me. Allow me to conclude. You're so thirsty over there. You're so thirsty. But once again, thank you. Stay ready. I'll finish with my questions, Your Honor.
Okay. You have any objection or closing arguments?
I got some questions for the witness.
Okay.
Is Danny Garcia past his prime? Stay ready.
I'm not going to say he passed his prime, but he is at that 30 limit. So he's right there to where he's on that line.
Okay, and we both can agree that if you are a gatekeeper, you are not inside the gate; you're outside the gate, allowing people in, like security do.
If you are a gatekeeper, yes, but only reason I don't think he's a gatekeeper because he's steady getting chances.
Yeah, I don't think he's a gatekeeper neither. I'm just making sure that we're all on the same page with these statements that you made earlier. Okay, and then last but not least. Saddam Ali won the championship at 54. What year was that? When did that happen?
That was 2018.
2018. Yeah, that was around the time he lost to Danny Garcia lost to Sean Porter, correct? So I don't know if you sure he would have beat Saddam Ali? You know what I'm saying? He a champ. You know what I'm saying? And
actually, Saddam Ali,
he was in at that time. He was losing to. What do you? I mean, can you compare those two for me?
Actually, at that time that he lost to Saddam Ali, actually at the time that Saddam Ali lost his title.
No, when he won his title. He won his title. I want the Saddam Ali that won his title.
Oh, when he won his title,
versus the Danny Garcia that lost his title.
When Saddam Ali beat Miguel Cotto, Danny was still the WBC champion. When he lost his title, when Saddam Ali lost his title, that's when Danny lost to Keith Thurman.
Oh,
no! I take
lost to Sean Porter.
That's when he lost to Sean Porter.
Okay. So he was losing his belt when he was. And is Saddam Ali elite? Was he an elite or any type of gatekeeper or anything?
I've never looked at Saddam Ali as elite.
He was just a belt holder.
Yes.
Objection is what's the relevancy to this with regards to my client, Your Honor?
I'm making sure, Your Honor, I'm making sure that you can be a belt holder and not be elite, not be a gatekeeper. Just making sure that we're on the same page. So when I turn around and say that Danny isn't elite or a gatekeeper or any of that, it makes perfect sense. That's all I'm trying to get to, Your Honor. That's all I'm trying to get to. And I'll close on that.
But I will, just to add to what you was asking me, if you don't mind me adding anything.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay.
Yeah, proceed.
Saddam Ali only won a belt. He never successfully defended his title. Danny successfully defended every belt that he's held multiple times over.
I'm only at welterweight, sir. Only at welterweight.
And 140.
No. But I'm only talking about that welterweight.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm only talking about that welterweight. And you are correct. He is 1-0 with title defenses, but he's 0-3 or 1-3 trying to go get a belt. Whatever. Okay, Your Honor. I'm finished. Your Honor.
Yes. Possibly he's 1-3 against elite competition. You can't discredit a fighter just because there might be better fighters in that division. There might be like the 154 is an absolutely deep division, but some of these fighters can't be discredited just because they can't beat Jermell Charlo. Tony Harrison can't be looked at as a gatekeeper just because he can't get over the hump against Jermell Charlo. Erickson Lubin can't be looked at as a gatekeeper because he couldn't get over the hump against Jermell Charlo. That's absolute foolishness. We have to look at the competitiveness of these fighters. Are they able to be competitive against other fighters at the elite level? And Danny Garcia has proven that such.
Can I ask you a question, Defense?
Go ahead.
Which division is tougher? 54 or 47?
As it stands right now, 154 is more tougher, and Danny Garcia, my client who you're claiming is clout chasing, he wants to go up there to the tougher, deeper division that's not divanized right now. Not demonized, divanized.
If you only have one win, one championship win, and for a vacant title in a division that's not stacked, going to the stacked division don't seem like your cards is in your cards. But I rest my case, Sean. I mean, we can go ahead and
listen. Just because the division is not stacked doesn't mean it's not top heavy.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready to render judgment on this one and move, I guess, to the last case. In the case of Danny Garcia, case 6.2, we find the defense guilty on all charges. Guilty.
I'm not understanding your logic tonight, dude.
You're not in welterweight. That ain't even the discussion.
I thought he was elite 140 pounder, not too much elite 140. So I gotta admit, I gotta be honest. I always said that. I can't go back.
Your Honor, can we make
sure you put your sensibilities on this case, Judge?
Can we make sure the bailiff?
No.
Can we make sure the bailiff give him his 8 years?
No conflict of interest over here, but
can we make sure
just being honest?
Your Honor, can we make sure we get him his 8 years, please? Put the paperwork in for his 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See you in 8.
Next case on the docket, please.
Case number 3. This will be the last case for tonight's boxing night court. Case number 3, the LDBC versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade.
Why you say
Cause man, hopefully I fella defend this motherfucker. Cause I don't want to defend him.
I'm defending him, of course.
Yes, you got him. Stay ready.
You already know I'm prosecuting.
Oh, get his ass. You ain't gotta get ready. You stay ready. You know what I'm saying? This gonna be a good one because I don't got no dog in this race. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. This about to be good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we are prosecuting Demetrius Andrade on. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the actual crime. I forgot what we said.
Aiding and abetting. I remember you.
Yeah, aiding and abetting. That was it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Aiding and abetting. That's exactly what it is.
You said it was something else though.
Yes, it was. But I remember it was aiding and abetting because
I don't know, you said impersonating the motherfucker.
You said perjury or something?
Impersonating the middleweight boxer.
Impersonating an elite boxer.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I will 100% say that Demetrius Andrade has never been elite.
Okay, and I don't know the last charge. It was like 3 of them. I don't know the last.
Yeah, calling out lower opposition.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's do it.
All right.
Salute everybody in the chat. Put your gavels in the chat.
Fighting, or calling out.
Calling out.
Up charges.
Calling out.
Nigga, I felt be stupid.
Let's start with the ducking. Let's start with the ducking. Because right now, Demetrius Andrade should be fighting fighters like Jamal Charlo, but he's not. They made a claim that they sent Jamal Charlo an offer. He showed his email of the offer and everything, but he covered up so much that all you saw was names. Jamal Charlo came out and said, "I never received an offer ever." So what they did was they went to Showtime, got Showtime to put together the money, put up the money for the fight, and sent an offer to Demetrius Andrade for $10 million. Steven Espinosa came out and said it in an interview. This is something that they actually have proven. This was a $10 million offer. Demetrius Andrade turned down a $10 million offer to fight Jamal Charlo. And I also have proof from his coaches, his strength and conditioning coach, who was actually come on my channel to defend Demetrius Andrade, to talk about that exact offer, said it was a conflict of interest. And the only reason it was a conflict of interest is because Demetrius Andrade decided to go re-sign with Eddie Hearn at the time to go fight a bunch of nobodies again. So that's for the aiding and abetting. Also, while you have a fighter in Jamal Charlo at your weight division, you're constantly calling out the little brother in Jamal Charlo while you have big brother, the big Charlo at your weight division who's willing to fight you, who have sent offers to fight you. You pulled out of the Jamal Charlo deal so that fight shouldn't even be worried about happening. Even if you got beef, move back down to 154 and fight it. Then you've called Earl Spence out on a numerous occasions. Why are you calling somebody at 147 out? You're at 160. You're a middleweight. You're not Canelo. You're not Deontay Wilder. You're not going to bring $40 million to the table if somebody wanted to. If he decides you're the person that'll be a good fight for a money fight. You don't bring that type of money to the table. So why are you constantly calling out Earl Spence at every turn? And then right after in the same interview, you'll backdoor and call out Jamal Charlo all over again. You still have Jamal Charlo. You got big Charlo problems in your weight division. Please, please, go handle the Charlo problems. Not Jermell Charlo, not Earl Spence. Big Charlo. But now Big Charlo is going to go fight David Benavidez because you're scared to fight him. I'm done with my opening statement, Your Honor.
Okay. Counselor.
Your Honor, I would like to motion to dismiss this whole case. Your prosecution in case number 1 sat here and tried to dismiss the WBO. Thankfully, you didn't. I mean, because of my great work. But nonetheless, he tried to dismiss and find the WBO guilty, rendering them irrelevant. And now he wants to sit here and say that Boo Boo Andrade is aiding and abetting a belt that's irrelevant that was trying to take out just 2 cases before.
Objection. I never mentioned a belt at all in my opening statement. Or
Sustained. That's true. That's true, Counselor. He did.
Regardless, Boo Boo Andrade is the owner of the WBO belt. It's all in correlation. It all goes together. How could you act one way for this and be one way for another? Now, that's why I want to extend the motion to dismiss for that correlation, for that conflict of interest. But if you don't accept that, let's move on. Let's move on, because I can defend my client.
I'm gonna need you to defend your client with all due respect, Counselor. I understand where you're coming from, but I believe the jury wants a fair and understanding courtroom.
Understanding that the prosecution saying that he's aiding and abetting the belts, the WBO belt that they don't believe in, when in actuality he's been fighting world-class opposition, world-class ranked opposition. Understand that it's not his fault that other champions and who we can perceive elite fighters have ducked him. Maybe not your favorite fighter or the prosecution's favorite fighter in Jamal Charlo, but there is a English fighter, a British or traveler by the name of Billy Joe Saunders that blatantly ducked Andrade, and that would have been definitely a career fight. You want to sit here and talk about people's purses and 10 million? Well, that's a big fight in old England and in New England alike. And Billy Joe Saunders blatantly ducked it, got popped. Instead of rescheduling for that fight, he moved up. He moved up in the division to 168 and secured himself a belt in a vacant title shot. That's duckery right there, robbing my client Boo Boo Andrade of a signature win, a signature fight that would have been that Eddie Hearn actually secured for him on the zone. Once again, my client has been fighting not the best, but decent opposition, and decent opposition in the middleweight division. My fighter fights middleweights, not 154 pounders, not the Dennis Hogans of the world, not the Brandon Adams of the world. He fights legitimate 160 pounders. Understand that? I mean, he hasn't been able to unify the. We all know that there is contractual politics when it comes to these boxing networks, but it all wants to be put on the blame of the fighter when it's convenient. When it's convenient, you know what I mean? When it's not your favorite fighter, it's the fighter's fault. Instead of blaming it on the networks, instead of blaming it on Eddie Hearn, instead of blaming it on PBC for not forcing these two to fight and getting this fight done for the networks, for the entertainment of the fans. No, it's just put on Boo Boo Andrade that he's aiding and abetting the belt. Well, since he's got that belt, he's defended it 3 times in 2 years against real middleweights. While your favorite fighter over there, his counterpart, the fake Hitman, because the only Hitman I really know is from Detroit, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. But you got a fake Hitman impersonating himself as a Hitman over there in Houston, fighting 154 pounders. 154 pounders, and then Daryanchenko, who's 5'8", huh? Who should be at 154 himself. He's a perennial gatekeeper because it keeps on getting chance after chance and losing. And then this is his signature fight. This is my counterpart's signature fight at 160. And then you want to tell me and tell my client that he's aiding and abetting a belt when he's the one that's fighting legitimate and real middleweights that been in the division for years? I rest my case, Your Honor.
So is that your opening statement?
That's my opening statement.
So let me rebuttal everything you just said.
Go ahead.
When Jamal Charlo sent that contract number 1, he wasn't even with Eddie Hearn. He had satisfied his contract. So he could have signed that contract. No problem. None whatsoever. But he chose not to. Who is that on? That has nothing to do with Eddie Hearn. It has nothing to do with Bob Arum. It has nothing to do with DAZN because he didn't sign the DAZN contract. He signed a contract with Eddie Hearn. His contract was up. They sent him an offer to fight. Jamal Charlo, he turned that down. Now, he fought real middleweights. Like who? Katsundaku? You sure Kunta Kinte was a real middleweight? I'm not sure.
He's been a middleweight. If you check his credentials, he's been a middleweight for years. He had WBO international belt, just like Luke Keeler did. It wasn't a guy that just jumped up from 154 and then went back down. Huh? Where's Dennis Hogan now? He's fighting Jeff Horn. Where's Brandon Adams now? He just knocked out Sergey Boyachuk at 154, my niggas.
That's cool. But guess what? Demetrius has had title fights at where? Where Demetrius had a title fight at? 160. Demetrius spent his whole career at 160.
We've established what a gatekeeper is.
But you wanted to sit there and talk about him not being a elite fighter, or he's short, he's 5'9", or whatever you wanted to say.
I ain't hating. I'm 5'9" myself.
Was a 168. He moved down to fight Charlo. He moved down. Matt Corrball was one that everybody was ducking. So let's speak on that. Luke Keeler. Now, the people that Demetrius Andrade has been fighting, were they even B-level fighters? The only one that I considered a potential B-level fighter that he's actually fought was Matthew Selecki.
Where are you from?
Overseas. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I ain't got time to sit here and try to think of where he's from. Motherfucker from overseas.
I can tell you where he's from. He's from Poland.
Yeah, okay.
I can tell you where Captain Doc was from. He's from Namibia.
I can tell you what Captain Doc was from too.
You know what I mean? I can tell you where Luke Keeler's from. He's from Ireland. Once again, the WBO is showing that they're a world belt. They find fighters all around the world and rank them.
Is that what that is?
Man, them dudes trash.
Is that what that is? They find
that's the whole definition of world. That's the whole definition of world. They don't discriminate.
4 or 5 white dudes named Liam.
Hold on. Don't the IBF go all over the world?
Yeah.
They go all over Germany. Bavaria. Leon Bunn.
Richard,
Leon
Richard
Jurgen
Comey,
Bremer are all in the all at 168. German fighters.
Richard
Vincent
Comey.
Fagan Butts.
Well, is Richard Comey African or not? I'm just asking. Is Richard Comey African?
Yeah, by the look of him.
Hold on. Is Nagataki Asian?
Sure.
Yeah.
He's just Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese, Asian. He's still Asian. It's a whole bunch of Asians. Is Demetrius Bivol German or Russian? He's Russian and Korean.
He's Korean.
He's Russian.
But he's Russian as well. He's both.
He's
So
born, by blood, but he
American. Is Errol Spence American?
Yeah.
So I just named a bunch of fighters outside of German and Poland and all that extra shit. So that defeats the purpose of the WBO.
Yeah.
That just defeats the purpose of the WBO completely. So you're saying the WBO is world class, so is the IBF. It's other titles that are world class. What the hell does that mean? That means he still ain't fighting no A-level competition. None. Jamal Charlo is trying to fight him to make it a big fight so you can say that's A-level competition. He's turning those big fights down. He turned down $10 million. That is, if that's not a duck, I don't know what else a duck is. He turned down he hasn't even made $10 million in his career. And he turned down $10 million for a fight. If that's not a duck, I have no clue what a duck is.
See what Renee says. The jury finds the defense guilty, Your Honor. Take him to jail. We haven't rendered a verdict yet, but
you know what? I don't even want to
No
go.
proof. There's talk. Yeah, and display. Where are your exhibits? Where are your exhibits showing these tweets, showing this proof that this is all hearsay and talk? My jury, my listeners do not know if you're being saying this in jest, if you're joking or not, or if you're actually being serious. You're putting slander on my client.
They know I'm being serious. The jury just rendered verdict. They said he's guilty.
One juror who has a biased opinion against my fighter.
How do you know he has a biased opinion?
Because I've been side-eyeing. I've been watching in the chat. You know what I mean? I've been watching in the chat, and most of his statements against my client has been negative. You know what I mean? So there's clearly a bias against my client, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, with regards to that matter. Once again, my client has been accused of aiding and abetting a belt. Aiding and abetting a belt. But he's been able to defend for 2 years, and defended 3 times against real middleweights. That have been ranked in the division. We've exonerated the WBO for their rankings. We've just did that in case 1. You know what I mean? And my client has been fighting ranked fighters in the WBO. Yes, he might be not able to make the big fights, the big unification fights, but those times will come. Because he's not getting any younger. My client is 33 and is definitely looking for those bigger fights. But what the prosecution fails to tell you about this $10 million is that it comes with strings attached. And they won't tell you about the strings that come attached. They just want to tell you about the $10 million that my client wouldn't take. But they won't tell you about the $10 million and the barrel that my client has to bend over. They won't tell you about that. What's the strings attached? Right. because, like I said, you have the evidence. So show us the strings.
No strings to show. It's no
El
strings to
Fat,
show. It was
El
a
Fat, I see you. Go ahead.
it was an offer. It was an offer from the offer was from a network. And if he'd have won the fight, he'd have probably got a bigger deal. He's never made 10 million in his career. Still hasn't made 10 million fighting your Luke Keelers and your Campbell Soup or whatever's of the world.
My client is doing fine. My client, my client rides around in a Lamborghini and throws out Louis V duffel bags at the first sight of police. That's how my client rolls. He cops and crashes whips.
Yeah, and getting pistol cases.
My client wears Versace blouses.
I'm about to say he got his own blouse line.
Yeah,
he got some money like that. He don't give a damn. You know what I mean? We're not going to talk about your $10 million with the strings. $10 million with strings attached.
What does sexuality
Order.
have to do with the case?
This is true. Proceed. Is there anybody else want to add anything? Any witnesses we bring it to the stand? Or
I just like to close off by saying my client is just a victim. He's a victim of being a strong-minded, highly intelligent, high IQ, super athletic black man. It just because of these the persuasion and the different Homer-isms with our prosecution that loves to uphold his combatant or his nemesis in Jamal Charlo. We're getting this case here today, slandering my client Boo Boo Andrade, when all he's just trying to do is succeed as a strong black man that has his own values and his own style that might be weird to you. You know what I mean? You guys out in Texas, but it's straight. It's all the way straight in Old England, and it's all the way straight in New England.
Man,
understand?
Rhode Island.
That's New England. I ain't forgetting. They ain't been forgotten. Old England and New England. You know what I mean? That's what Boo Boo representing.
Yeah, but he androgynous, like Prince was.
Once again, my client has defended his belt thrice against legitimate middleweights that were ranked in the sanctioning body, who your judge is rendered not guilty today. Understand, Jaime Munguia, another fighter who would have gave him a signature fight at 160, declined to send that paperwork so he could be the mandatory and put on a signature fight. Instead, we're getting Liam Williams. We'll see how that fight turns out. But once again, all we have here, Your Honor and jury, is conjecture and a lot of hot air and a lot of hot talk about $10 million. But in realism, when we look at the stats and we look at the records, my fighter has been fighting middleweights while your favorite fighter has been fighting 154 pounders. I rest my case.
Yeah. And
you have a counter argument.
We're talking about a guy named Boo Boo, and he's fighting nobodies. I hear him saying that he's fighting middleweights. I don't like to call fighters bums, but if you're a champion, you should be fighting A-level competition, and he's not. So I can't. I can't, Your Honor. I can't. I can't be behind this. Like I can't. I think this guy deserves 10 years minimum. 10 years minimum. He's a duck. He's a duck, Your Honor, and I think he should have to pay the price. If this had been any one of our favorite fighters, Your Honor, guess what? We call them all kind of duck. If this is we call Earl Spencer duck just for sending a obscure contract. They call him a duck for sending an obscure contract. This man turned down $10 million. That was confirmed.
Yeah, he turned down $10 million and
Hold on, you rest your case, Your Honor. You rest your case, counselor. I'm doing my final words. You rest your case. You turned down $10 million, Your Honor. That's all I'm saying. The prosecution is rested. The prosecution is rested.
I can't mess with man. Oh man. All right, man. Let's.
Oh man.
Y'all retarded, man. So we're ready to render verdict, and we find as far as the LDBC versus Demetrius Andrade, we find the defense guilty on all charges. 10-year sentence. Sorry, I know some people gonna be mad at me about that one. I'm gonna hear about that one.
Got his ass.
There's too much evidence against Demetrius Andrade. We finally got it.
Renee said, "Thank you, Your Honor. The jury is pleased."
Got his ass.
There you go. You know what I mean? Patterns. This nigga been hating on my client the whole night.
You got to try not to show partiality as far as the jury, man. Make sure nothing sways you. That's how we try to put the case dockets in before, we start up. You know what I mean? Just try to have a clear mind before you come in here. Say what you want to say. You know what I mean? I appreciate the brothers, but let's get ready to close this thing out. Almost gave y'all 2 hours.
Hey, look, our fella, from here on out, man, you gotta say like how Junior said. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say, I see Renee Box Young hating in the comments trying to say my defendant guilty. Fuck your opinion.
Fuck your
Junior is crazy. Yeah, be crying.
See that? Fuck your opinion, and they keep going.
Yeah, that's classic.
Oh man.
But shit, I'll close it off, man. Shit, man, it's been a good one, man. You know what I'm saying? Night court, always fun, man. It's always fun fucking with y'all, man. Y'all are outrageous. Act, man, we gotta learn we gotta bring up old cases so you can know, you know what I'm saying? Yo, you called guilty for this, so this should be guilty for this too. I think we didn't do that. That's why we ain't come up. But it's all good. It's been a good one, though. Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is, man. Your boy Cadillac Red, man. And yeah, we'll do this next week, man. And I'll holler at y'all in a minute, man. One.
Man, appreciate you. I didn't get to do last week because I was booed up or whatever y'all want to say, but I was busy at that moment, doing things that grown folks do. But I was here this Sunday, man. We had a hell of a show. I really enjoyed tonight. We had fun. I always enjoy having it out with my favorite sparring partner, the Odd Fella, and my brother Cadillac Red, Supreme Beast Boxer Talk. Y'all go check out that. Oh, you ain't dropped it yet. The Chop Chop interview.
Well, now he did. Oops.
That was a nice preview, though, to get it ready.
Yeah. That was a hell of a preview. So y'all make sure y'all go check it out the moment he drop it. And Sunday, I got an interview this Sunday with Mike Angeletti, former Team USA, current 2-0 fighter, and Tuesday with Jenny Futch. She's fighting at bantamweight for Team USA, and she's coming home with that gold out of Houston, Texas. I will have them on Sunday and Tuesday. Y'all make sure y'all come check it out right here. Stay Ready Boxing TV. You ain't got to get ready. Stay ready, man.
Man, go ahead.
Indeed. It's another good one. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of salty. I think I think I should have got that Danny case. You know what I mean? Even the Boo Boo one. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Salute to everybody in the chat, the jury and whatnot. Renee Boxian, you know what I mean? Tay Brown, of course. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody. Supreme Beast Boxing, Stay Ready Boxing TV, of course. You know what I mean? 503 came through, you know what I mean, a little bit earlier. Salute to the brother. You know what I mean? Of course, Judge Galvatron, you know what I mean, with the dopest show on YouTube, Boxing Night Court. You know what I mean? Definitely salute. Once again, subscribe to the R Fella. The War Report will be back in action. We got the North Meet South Cypher going down Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You know what I mean? I got 6 MCs passing through. They're going to be dropping some bars. 3 from the North, 3 from the South. Indeed, it's going down. It's your favorite, yet your most hated R Fella. Salute to the whole LDBC. And I'm Gizon.
Yo, salute to everybody that came through in the chat.
Hold on. I felt like you guys say it one time, man. Tell him, man. Usual suspect Ting.
Hey, yo. It's a usual suspect thing.
Yeah, salute to everybody that came through. Salute to Red, salute to 503, salute to Steel, salute to Mac. You know, man, this was a good one. I know sometimes they be like, oh, I think Ack is gonna render this and render it that, but sometimes people don't understand it be certain things that they say, and it makes sense and it's fair to me. It's not that, you know, this case is this because of that. Every particular case is like a samurai sword. It got its own soul. You know what I mean? No blade got the same soul when it's forged. So that's how I look at it with the cases. Yeah, you know, ones overlap each other, but, you know, I feel like in certain points and certain arguments, I definitely think that, you know, sometimes even when y'all end up continuing, y'all bring up a good point, so that made me want to sway towards this person's way. Sometimes you should just cut it short. You know, maybe I might just see it that way, but, you know, I just try to be fair about it. But salute to everybody that come through. We're going to keep giving court cases. You know, the people love it. Salute to the LDBC. Salute to the full Berserker clan. It's your boy, Ack Reacher. I never steer you wrong, and I'm out. Court is now adjourned.
Peace out.